So, okay, beautiful people, if you are willing to bear with me and listen to my reading from the second part of the court filing from Chloe Black and Jane Doe, then let's do it. I did my first reading about 2 months ago. I feel like it's important to read it again because it's super relevant. This is the case. This is not the case. This is the file. That is still not a criminal suit, but a civil suit that the District of Attorney of Los Angeles said, well, guess what? There is no proof and not enough evidence for us to investigate it, so we're not going to. So I think it's very good news. I really believe so. So they're not saying he's innocent. They're not saying he's guilty. They are just saying they're not going to do anything about it. I think the fact that my cat is moving the computer. I am sorry. I feel like the fact that she did not name herself and instead her attorney wrote as a Jane Doe is very strategic and it's not just something that just happened. I think that she did it. Excuse me. I think she did it so people don't think she's after cash. Oh no, she's not naming herself. She might just be not after anything. Well, that was a trick, and you all fall for it. Not you, but people. So this is keep repeating myself because I feel like if somebody's new watching the videos, it's gonna have to have the context of what's going on. And this is the second part of her fighting. It is very gruesome. It is very it's more bloody and more sex related and more drugs related than any of the other ones. That's what I think the Manson attorney went to dismiss this one first, because it's gonna make everybody look like a liar because they're all related as friends. So this one, warning, this one is bad. It includes cutting and sexual abuse, emotional abuse, drugs, blood, torture, snuff. So just you're being warned, okay? These are things that I think the other YouTube channels don't touch on it because they are really hard to talk about. Because of my background, I can talk about, and it still makes me kind of sick because I think that a lot of girls do go through this, and I think this is a made-up thing. But it makes me sick to think that they're just using the fact that a lot of women, and I'm sorry, more women than men go through it, but I'm not saying men don't go through it. People in general go through all this abuse and all this torture. So Evan, Esme, Ashley's, and this chick are just using whoever got abused in the past. I did. They're using us, and I don't see any of these people as my role model that have to look up to them. None of them at all. I can say that I can look up to Rose McGowan. I can say I can look up to Lady Gaga. I can say I can look up to Keisha. Remember Keisha was abused by Dr. Luke and all that? I can say that I'm looking up at a lot of feminists from the 60s and the 70s that they will laugh right now if they were alive, or maybe some of them are. Imagine the feminists, the badass women from the 60s, the real ones, reading these filings and go like, oh, well, the apartment was too cold. Ooh, he didn't let you eat. Oh my God, he just gave you a bunch of cocaine and the walls were black. Oh my God, like they will laugh. It's very sad. Anyway, so before I start reading Chloe's from item 24, in my last video I read from number 1 to item 24. I am not going to go back to number 1 because it's so tedious. So if you want to watch it, if you think that you needed to watch it, go back to my live that I did today. But actually you don't need to watch it in order to get the gist of it and the gig and the narrative that they're trying to put on us. I don't buy it. And if you have a problem with me not buying it, it's okay. It's fine. We can share opinions. Which I don't want is to be bashed in this channel or in Cornel Kerr's channel or Greta's channel for making a comment. And then I get like weird people, as usually women, telling me like, you don't know what you're talking about. I was abused, and what's going on is they're not thinking with this app here, with the noodle. They are just with their heart, and I understand if you've been through this, you're blinded by hate, and you hate men, you hate life, you hate sex, so you're going to just jump on the first of these victims and you're gonna side with them. A lot of bad things happen to me, but it don't mean that I'm going to side with Amber Heard, Esme, Ashley, Evan, Chloe. I'm not going to. So if you have any of those stories, you just can shoot me an email. And it's the same that if you do to the other three ladies that are doing channels. It's only four of us, females. A small channel like mine, almost nothing. And big ones, medium ones. There's only four of us. And I'm talking about Greta in the UK. However she lives now, I don't know if she's moving on. Colonel Kurtz in somewhere where she lives, and she's an English professor. She knows what's up. She's make videos after video on Johnny and the injustice of the whole thing, and on Manson. And there's somebody else that I think she's awesome. I cannot pronounce her name, so I don't want to butcher it, but I'm going to link it. She's amazing. She's very gorgeous too. She's like super pretty and young, and she's from the UK, so she has a different perspective of things. But still, she thinks Manson is innocent. And then there's me. So there's four of us. I found it really stupid and really just disappointed that stupid is not the word, but I'm just disappointed at the other channels, the men channels there. Go talk about Johnny, how innocent Johnny is, and they spend so much time, 200 videos on Amber and Johnny, and they don't talk about Manson, even if they know. I think they know Manson is innocent, but because it's uncomfortable, this whole sexual crimes, I don't want to call the R word, so I'm gonna say sexual crime instead. It's uncomfortable, it's bloody, it's disturbing, it's they're thinking maybe this can happen to my sister or my mom. This is disgusting. That's why they don't want to talk about it. And also they're scared, I feel like. It's weird because they're not as scared of talking about Johnny, which is the biggest star, bigger than Manson, the way, depends how you see it, but they don't talk about Manson, and that kind of pissed me off because I think they should, as men. And so they go to the injustice of how men are being abused and how everything is the Me Too movement's fault, which I disagree with that. And they don't talk about Manson and the accusations because I think it's not because it won't sell, because they will get viewers, because they are it's a mixture of everything. It's like being scared and also being taken off by the disturbing and the it's gruesome, it's nasty. So maybe they're just feel triggered by it and they don't want to talk about it. Let's choose to believe that. But I will. And I'm not being arrogant, I'm just doing what I'm doing because I really believe it. I wouldn't be sitting here using my computer, my work computer. That's why I don't have software to edit, because I cannot really download anything here. Yes, I just can't. But I can do this because I'm just talking. So it's like vlogging back in the 90s. So I can do this. But there's only like four of us, and there's anybody else, then let me know. I remember the girl from the UK. She's amazing. Greta, Aurora, and Colonel Kurtz. That's it. Oh, and Celtic Iron, which is kind of the same. The Colonel Kurtz and Celtic Iron are merging, and it's amazing. They crack me up. But there's nobody else that I know of. There are a lot of people on Instagram, and the problem with those Instagram pages is that there's been some beef, and they're fighting, and they're arguing to see who has the first picture, and I think it's silly, because if they all rooting for the same thing and we're all on the same page, we should not be arguing with each other. It's kind of dumb. But I'm sure that half of those pages are run by people that don't really have the knowledge, and maybe they're just too immature. But a lot of them are run by really good people, and really people that I use their information, and I don't feel bad about it, because they use information from YouTube stuff. So it's a full circle, and they're really good. But there's some something going on the last month. They're fighting and they're competing, and I find that very silly, actually. And it kind of like makes you lose contact of the goal, which is defending this guy and both of them. I don't make videos on Johnny. I could, because there's way more. There's recordings, there's, my God, audio. But because a lot of people already did. However, it will be cool because it's going to be news and new stuff to get on Johnny and Amber in 2022 when they're about to go to Virginia for the trial. If she's not dismissed before 2022. So maybe by then, if I'm still on YouTube, I didn't get kicked out. Gosh. Then I'll touch on them. It will be interesting. Right now, there's nothing new. But with Manson, there's new stuff all the time. So, okay, Chloe Black. I'm going to read you a lyric of her song. The name of her song is Groupie. We know how frustrated, how traumatized she was by the movie Groupie, to the point that she thought it was a snuff film, all right? But she got no problem naming a song after that. So this is the lyrics. It sounds silly. You can say, well, it's just lyrics. But if we're just gonna take Manson's lyrics as true Bible, then we're gonna take hers. You know, because there's this whole thing that Manson is just he is his persona. There's no line. Well, then I'm gonna believe that she is her persona. You know, otherwise it would not be fair. So I'm gonna read her lyrics, just like people read Manson's lyrics and they go like, oh, see, he talks about getting you tied up, you know, drink your blood. He might be doing it. So then, Chloe, you might be doing this. It's just fair. The song Groupie goes like this. I am with a band. I am with a band. Backstage pass. I am your number one fan. I'm with a band. I'm with a band. Yeah, she's a genius. Oh, I love you since the day that I heard your record play. And I saw you on stage, boy. Got a tattoo on your name. Baby, I'm your Penny Lane. Penny Lane refers to the groupie in the 60s and 70s who was super famous for just being a groupie. This is insulting to Penny Lane. But anyway, I am your Penny Lane. I am the road wife sex toy. Oh. Anyway, yeah, I'm almost famous just for tonight. I am your Laurel Canyon cocaine high. Wanna be a groupie? Fuck your life. Fuck you for life. Fuck you for life. I am with the band. I am with the band. Backstage pass. Number one fan. She's not talking about somebody else. She's talking about herself. Okay? I be your rock and roll baby, rock and roll queen. I am with the band. I am with the band. Backstage pass. I am your number one fan. You know, not only this is kind of annoying. I think she got better with the years, but I am your leather bound bitch. Bound? She's bound. She wrote this in 2015. So she got all this trauma and all these events going on to her in 2010, and she wrote this in 2015. She is bound, bitch. Like, I know that you can use art to exercise your demons and stuff, but this is kind of a little bit of it too much. If we're gonna take his lyrics serious, I'm gonna take hers, like I already said. I am your leather bound bitch. So she's bound, tied up or something, bounded on somewhere. So, you know, hopeless. With the California lips, I am your tour bus fame hoe. I do anything it takes. Yeah. Be your muse until it breaks. You're my teenage hero. So, you know, it seems like she's been worshipping for a while. I'm almost famous just for tonight. I'm the Laurel Canyon cocaine high. Wanna be your groupie? Fuck your life. Fuck you for life. Fuck you for life. I am with the band. I'm with the band. Backstage pass. I'm your number one fan. I be a rock and roll baby, rock and roll queen. No, she's repeating the same day. Backstage badge, number one fan. She did said on the first, just like Esme and Evan, I was looking up to this guy since I was a teenager, and I was so disappointed that he ended up to be a monster, but I looked up to him. You know, it's kind of similar. Love you much. I want to die together. I love you so much. I want to drink your blood. Like, when they talk about they're cutting them and asking them to drink his blood. Funny. Die Together, and with the band Backstreet Patch, I'm your number one fan, be Rock and Roll Baby Queen. Backstreet Patch, I'm your number one fan. Jesus Christ, it repeated them over and over. There's nothing new. Backstreet Patch, I'm number one fan. Be Rock and Roll Baby Queen. The cocaine thing, like people talk about drugs and sometimes they don't even do it. They just talk about drugs like to be cool. But, but she's bounded somewhere in California. She can be anywhere and keep me like doing anything. She could be on the floor crawling, but she's bounded, dude. Somewhere in California, I looked up to you since I was a teenager. That's pretty much what I think that people usually do to men, and especially women, little girls at that point. Cocaine, high, bounded. I'll be famous just for one night. Yeah, she knew that was gonna happen. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. So this is just the lyrics of her song Groupie. If the song was called California Baby Doll, whatever the fuck, But the reason I read it and it never got to my head to read it before tonight is because she's using the same damn word. And she talks about being bounded and about taking cocaine, snorting cocaine. And then in her court filing, she said that she was sick and tired of doing cocaine all the time and she got bounded, tied up. Oh, drink your blood, man, drink your blood, right? And she said the Manson wanted to do a blood pact and cut her. And just, it's hard to talk about these things because, I feel like these things do happen to people. Anyway, I'm gonna put it out there. That was only 16 minutes. Cool beans. Let me move for a second. Hey, oh, sorry. I get my leg is right there. So I stretch and I'm not at work and I'm all like, yay, and just relax. So that was Chloe Black's song Groupie. It even has some video to go with it, which is not very simple video. But the lyrics are just like, whoa, to me. If I'm going to believe the lyrics will kill for me, the other one, is it Blood Honey or which one is it? That he says, you tied up and you love it. I tie you up and I love it. All that. If we're just gonna believe that stuff, we're gonna believe hers. At least I am. And I did my research. It took me a little because that was 2015 and she wasn't big, but still she was out there. So she cannot erase that, no matter how much she tried. By the way, she blocked me from Instagram. She blocked all the Manson defenders from Instagram. And that's kind of sus. And that made her look more sus. So she shouldn't have been doing that. Anyway, so we're going for an item 24. I'm telling you, it's tedious. It's gross. If you don't want to read it, if you don't want to watch it, then you can stop now. And just take the lyrics and have a night with that. And come back when I'm not reading court files. I happen to like reading court files because it's a way for me to have a structure and not just like yap around for an hour. So item 24, you got the context of before. He gave her the key for the apartment and he gave her a kimono. Ooh, what a monster. And a bunch of gifts. And he said, well, I want you around. She took that as controlling behavior. And he said he want her around whatever. He's not practicing music. He's not working because he worked. She was rent free there, dope free, rent free. She said that he didn't let her eat. I found that hard to believe. And she said a bunch of other stuff. But she said she's the first one that says she got a key. So she could go in and out with that key. So that's for context. And the most important thing that we debunked it already is that he made her watch the movie Groupie. And she was sick. She puked. She was dizzy, thinking that girl died. I guess she was very inexperienced when it comes to the entertainment industry. She really doesn't know that some people, like they saw movies and stuff like that. I'm not into that, but I know some people like to shock you and just make you believe this person is freaking dying. So I think that's what Manson did. And I might not like that type of film. I like when Manson is more refined and like no reflection videos and just more just strange. Not this whole holding the camera, I'm torturing you. But doesn't matter what I think. The point is that this was a job for the actress, and it's a job for the camera person. It was a job for whoever crew was there. For Twiggy Ramirez, it was a job. The actress probably got paid good money, and then she went and do all the videos with other people. If she was so traumatized by the industry, how they were treating her, she would just be gone. She would not keep working with musicians and stuff like that, knowing that he could be around. So that's something. So the movie wasn't real. The movie was a real movie, fictitious. It wasn't a real rehearsal or a snuff. My God, it was not. Not only because I don't think he will do that, but also because we have proof that the actress is alive, and she said that he was so shy and so quiet. They were hooking up also at the same time. She said that, so I take it as true. And she had to initiate everything because he was such a nerd and so quiet and so shy, which this is kind of the way I imagine it. This is not to say that he's not into fetish and things like that, because people can get into that later in life. But I do not believe that from 2009 to 2012-ish, 2012, he just became. Monsters are usually made through time. So I don't believe that he was cool and shy and super romantic to Rose and Dita, and then he just turned into this thing. So that's a thing that not only me, but a lot of people don't believe. So when the video was over, plaintiff remembered crying and asking repeatedly if the girl in the video was dead. Warner would not answer. Because he just wants to be elusive and vague, and that's what I think. But anyway, plaintiff thought Warner murdered the girl in the video. Warner claimed the girl was actually his girlfriend at the time, which I just told you. Plaintiff was confused because the girl looked like a teenager. Okay, actors can do that. I think Paula, the actress, the shock value of the video is this is a teenager that he's just partying with. Oh my God. So, there's easy ways that she could have looked like a teenager or like an older person. She's an actress. There's effects and wardrobe and makeup and things that I think Manson wanted to look like a teenager, but she wasn't. So, if we talk about Evan Rachel Wood making a really fucked up movie, not a good example for girls. The movie's called 13. When she was 13, what the fuck, okay? Well, Paula was probably 21 or 22. But Chloe is saying because it looked like a teenager, it must have been a teenager, and she must have been dead. Manson told plaintiff that when he first showed up in the movie to Tony Kula, which is his manager, that just dropped him, right, a few months ago. His manager, Tony Kula, told him that he needed to lock the tape in a safe and never show it to anybody, or else Warner would be sent to prison. I don't know what to say about that. Plaintiff had never seen anything so disturbing. It was traumatizing. She did not understand why he would be sent to prison for something he didn't do. Okay, I think Tony Kula was just being dramatic, or Manson lied and was being dramatic. I don't think that this video is so bad that he was sent into prison, especially because we can prove, as we've been proving, that it was all acting. But Chloe is going and just is telling the story of her being so hopeless, crying on the couch while he's showing her this video. If this happens in real life and it's a real snuff, hell, it will be hell. But her saying that she didn't know the girl was alive or not, and Manson going, "Ooh, I'm not gonna tell you." It's just part of what he does, and it could be kind of annoying at the moment, but it's what he does, and it's proven this is a movie. It's a movie that looks real, but it's a movie. So she was crying, told her to stop. He didn't stop. He even said, "Oh, my manager told me to destroy the video." So plaintiff spent a lot of time questioning Warner to figure out who the girl was and confirm that she was okay. So what the fuck? She didn't believe him there. But Warner gave only vague and evasive answers. He claimed that it was a woman on his Long Road Out of Hell music video. Yes, she's one of the two girls on that video. That video is awesome. Even though the young girl in groupie did not resemble the woman in the video. Again, Chloe, makeup, different type of acting, wardrobe. Shut up, seriously. He's telling her right there. It's just an actress that I like working with. Besides, I hooked up with her that time, and she's the actress in Love Run Out of Hell. And she still doesn't believe him, and that is kind of like her problem if you think about it. Even the language they're using in the fighting is kind of like her problem for not believing him. Of course, he's gonna be elusive and evasive and vague. It's kind of what he wants you to think. Anyway, and she fell for it. One night towards the end of March 2011. I'm gonna do the time dates, and I'm probably gonna have to watch some horrible TMZ videos because I think that the timelines are very important. I know that Ashley Morgan said she was with him for Thanksgiving 2010, and there's videos of Manson with Lindsay, now his wife, in November 2010. So there you go. I don't know Chloe timelines, but I will figure it out eventually. Maybe we all can help each other and figure it out together. I'm sure there's a way to do it. There's always a way. When you lie so much, it's gonna come. Like, it's just gonna come in full circle, and then they're gonna feel very stupid. They might not face defamation, prison, and all that stuff that we want them to face, but just the humiliation and looking like a liar in Hollywood. That's just bad enough. So they returned to the apartment. He became more and more erratic and angry. This is because she was telling him, "Dude, stop the video or tell me she's dead or not." So he got angry at that. He probably got angry because he was angry. He got angry because she didn't trust him or believe him. I'm trying to be logical here. And Manson is not a logical person, or artists usually are not, but I'm trying to be realistic and see the positive side of things and see that this is a lie. We can prove it's a lie by just posting a picture of Paula Weiss and the actress somewhere, and that's it. Which they have done on YouTube. Amazingly, that interview she did was so cool. Warner commended plaintiff and Mr. Walters. Okay, Ashley Walters was here the whole time. This is really weird. Like, if you are the assistant of the dude, you're getting paid big bucks, whatever. But a girl was being tortured, crying on the floor and all that. You're not gonna do anything. What type of woman are you? That really I think it's messed up. So Ashley was there, in and out, this scene, because at the time Ashley was his assistant. So Ashley chose not to do anything about it because he didn't want to lose her job, I guess. She was scared of him too. I don't know, but Ashley watching all this unfold and not doing anything is pretty bad. If we pretend it happened. Ashley, oh, this is funny. This part is not triggering to read because this is a treat of just comedy. Okay, this part is funny. Warner commended plaintiff and Ashley Walters to dance and sing karaoke. What an asshole. I've been told worse things than that. Like, go make me mac and cheese. I don't know, man. Go take off your clothes and just wear boots. Weird shit. So saying, and now I think the person was crazy, but it's just playful. So they're saying, Chloe's saying that it was traumatizing that he told Ashley and Chloe, just go and do some karaoke. Okay. Probably he was doing the karaoke as well, so it was a game between the three of them, but she's not gonna say that. Anyway, karaoke girls. Walters told plaintiff that they had to comply with Manson's wishes and the plaintiff needed to act happy and smile in order to avoid conflict and survive. Ooh. Plaintiff felt degraded, humiliated, and stripped of her free will. This is where she talks about asking for damages money, and also because she felt that she was stripped to her own to her will of just doing whatever she wanted, which is human rights. So she's using this for that karaoke. Very nasty thing, because it's like, oh, he forced me to inject heroin. Okay, he forced me to sing karaoke and to smile. I have a feeling that he was singing the karaoke too for some reason, and it was just like, let's all fucking act like dorks. If that happened, Warner went on a drug binge. Well, yes, he wasn't it when he was doing the Pale Emperor? Oh no, the Hiding of the Low. I don't know. He was dropping albums like crazy, and he was doing drugs, and he admitted. And ain't big surprise, right? Warner went on the drug binge, alcohol binge, for the next 3 days. That's it. Okay, anyway, 3 days. During this time, Warner screamed and repeatedly threatened both Ashley and Chloe. He threw a glass against the wall. Okay, that's an asshole move, but still, his glass, his wall. No. If this happened, maybe he just said, I'm gonna throw a glass, but he didn't throw it. That's what I'm thinking, probably. He screamed at her, throw the glass against the wall. Planted to clean up and told her to clean up the mess that he just did. He screamed at her and forced her to stop cleaning up. So first he told her, clean up, you better clean up, and then he said, don't, stop cleaning up. At one point, when Plaintiff was crying, Warner ordered Ashley Waters to take photos of Plaintiff crying. This is messed up. Plaintiff wanted them to be deleted. Like, take them but didn't delete them. And Ashley refused to delete them out of fear of Warner. See who's getting in trouble here? Ashley is. To witness and just to be part of it. The pictures, I'm not going to believe until I see the pictures, okay? Chloe, whoever is representing you, there's no pictures. I'm sorry. Because she said delete them, and he said no, don't. So the pictures are somewhere, if they exist. So I need to see the pictures to believe it. I'm sorry. So, side V as in boy. That was only a part of them. Oh, Jesus. I promised myself that I'm not going to go more than 45 minutes, so let's do this. It's Friday night. Probably got something to do. I don't, but Warner Ray. Oh, shoot. I said the word. He, R, and repeatedly R'd an abused plaintiff. Shit, I said the word. I'm going to use for now, and I'm going to say sexual violence, because I think that is better than saying R. The physical and sexual violence aspect of plaintiff's relationship with Warner was relatively gentle and romantic at first. However, that changed quickly. That is a copy and paste of Esme, Evan, and everybody saying he was a sweetheart in the beginning and then he changed. I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, Warner demanded extremely frequent sex unless he was busy recording or entertaining people. Otherwise, he wanted to have sex all the time with her. She was a girlfriend. But anyway, plaintiff was not able to sleep through the night, so she had to stay up at night because that was the time that he was staying up. We all know that. He has plenty of interviews saying, hey man, I just like great from 3 in the morning to 6 in the morning. Whoever is with me, gotta deal with it. He laughed, said it in interviews. Do I think that's cool and healthy? No. Would I hang out with a guy who does that every single day? Probably not. But I think that artists, actors and musicians to just like do that. Sometimes I do that, and it doesn't make us monsters. He said that he was telling her not to sleep. So, but then in the filing earlier that I read earlier today, she said that the only moments that she had a break was when he was sleeping and she was able to rest. So I don't know. It seems like she was awake 24/7, which it probably was only possible with a lot of drugs. If this is true, the way I'm doing this from now on is trying to believe and try to like strive with logic, all this stuff, because I think some of it might just be true. The drugs are true. The cold room is true. The black walls are true. We see them in pictures. Black walls or no black floors and black ceiling. I know people that have black walls. It's kind of cool. Cold AC. You live in LA. It's hot as balls. So those are things I think they did happen. But if she was asleep, if she was able to rest in the morning, but now she's saying that he did not let her sleep, period. um, after making screaming noises for the purpose of waking her up suddenly just to have sex. So she was not able to sleep, and when she fell asleep, he woke her up to have sex repeatedly. Warner often will fall asleep during intercourse. Okay. After taking sleeping pills, I can't even comment on that. It's so silly. He will force plaintiff to have sex with him, even if he was asleep. If he was asleep, how did he force her? He took some Ambien or whatever. How did he force her if he was asleep? Wasn't like her choice to just like do it? Maybe. Because he's supposed to be asleep. Anyways, he is getting like, she's just burying herself. Warner often will fall asleep during intercourse. Okay, sleeping pills. She will pray. She prayed. Okay, for Warner to pass out during intercourse. So she was like, "Oh my God, you better fall asleep." Okay, this is really silly. It's really hard to even read this shit. When this happened, plaintiff will try to sleep, to slip away from his body and get some sleep. But the moment she moved, Warner. First of all, I don't think he's so aware, especially if he was high on stuff. So the moment she slipped away, he was like aware and woke up. Hey, what are you doing? It's so silly. Warner will wake up immediately and demand more sex. So he was taking these cat naps and demanding sex every time he woke up. Mind you, remember the first time I read it earlier, that he gave her a key. This is the only accuser that says that she had a key of the apartment. So she got a key, and you use keys to open doors. I don't know, he changed the lock and then he took the key away from her. A lot of things might have happened, but I don't think so. I think that she was able to get out, and she chose not to for whatever reason. Warner 3-day drug binge was another turning point in the relationship, because plaintiff and Warner became increasingly violent. He was really violent during sex when he was high. I don't know, that's kind of a contradiction itself. He would grab her extremely forcibly. At one point, Warner bit, and it's one with the biting. Remember who actually talked about biting? Bite was Ashley Morgan, Esme, and Ashley Walters. My God, they all talk about the biting. So that's kind of curious. So we got more bite. He bit her. Okay, he bit the other ones too. It's something that is being copy and paste like over and over. Shit. Hold on. This thing needs to be down. This core file insert. And then the letters are so small. Even if I zoom it in, they're so damn small. Okay. 3-day drug binge. Drug and sex binge. I don't know. How is that possible? It seems to me not very possible physically, but it seems like he did it. So, one day in June 2011, so they were together for a year. Like, I don't think so. June 2011, plaintiff visited Warner very early in the morning. Visit him. So she opened the door, maybe. I don't know. Or Ashley let her in and made her look so guilty. Ashley looks like shit to me. Okay, so she knocked at the door June 2011. Warner very early in the morning, per his demand, plaintiff and Warner sat on his apartment couch. Warner began insisting the plaintiff kiss him. So he's this monster, and then he goes, "Oh, but can you kiss me?" This is so silly. Kiss him and engage in sexual act with him. For once, plaintiff refused. This is when she finally said no. Seems like after a year, refused. Plaintiff was crying because he got mad because she said no. Warner was relentless, keep going, and then force her to perform sex on him. So now we got the R word again, okay? And repeat just art her repeatedly over and over. This is kind of like she's pretty much saying that he did not abuse her against her will until June 2011. So everything that she's talking about in 2010 is pretty much just arguing and like stupid shit he's doing, and just it doesn't make sense that he would just wait a year to commit this act of violence. I think this is all allegedly my opinion. Okay. Later, plaintiff went to return Warner's apartment key. Oh, okay, cool. All right, here's your key. After you did this to me 300 times, this is your key. I couldn't leave her under the mat. I couldn't just give her to a friend. I couldn't throw it on the window. I had to give it to you. I'm so scared, but I'm bringing you the key. I would just throw that key in the freaking trash. I don't care. When he opened the door, he was wearing this is hilarious. He was wearing the pink kimono. Okay. My favorite movie is probably Fight Club, and my second favorite movie is Silence of the Lambs. When I saw Silence of the Lambs, I was like, I should have watched it when I was so young, but like people in the 90s, kids were watching freaking fucked up shit. We were really young, and I watched Silence of the Lambs, and I got obsessed with crime and him and her, and I blame Silence of the Lambs for my job now. I'm not saying I'm like that and I never encounter somebody so interesting, but in Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill, the serial killer, he's wearing the kimono while he's singing "Goodbye Horses, Goodbye Horses," the song. I don't know, and I think that she watched that movie many times, so she's saying that he was wearing the kimono that he gave her. So he's like, guess what? Now I'm gonna wear it. I told you this was the most ridiculous one of all of them. So he was wearing the kimono, and plaintiff remembered being in the hallway by his front door about to leave when Warner forcibly pushed her to the ground in front of all the people in the hallway. Ooh, with her face down on the carpet, hallway. I don't know, and his hands on top of her, and Warner, or her again. Okay. Wearing the kimono. I'm sorry. So silly. Warner repeatedly keep R in her again. Okay, this is a bunch of times. But he waited a year to do this to her. That's what really doesn't add up, and it's not gonna help her. This is almost being dismissed, but if she tries to appeal, this whole thing needs to be they need to rewrite it. Because between the karaoke and the kimono, and it's just weird, and maybe somebody believe it if it's not so, doesn't sound so silly and just far-fetched and sounds from a movie, seriously, from like Silence of the Lambs. One was wearing black jeans under the kimono. Did he wear jeans? The Manson wore the jeans. I don't know, you guys tell me the stands and the fans. I mean, I love Manson, but I don't remember. I don't know, man. I don't think the guy wears jeans. But anyway, so that's more, consistencies. These little things are gonna make these people look like liars because they're little things. But the judges usually go for little things. They don't care who you are. They go for little things. If you lie on something little, you can lie on something big. And then they can say, well, my memory was messed up because of the trauma. That is not always the case. Sometimes your memory is super sharp because of the trauma. So I don't know if she's gonna pull that off. And then, don't you ever fucking make me do that to you again, he said to her. Like, bad girl, don't make me. Look what you made me do, type of thing. Warner then threatened plaintiff to kill her. She didn't say the K word either. YouTube already messing me up, but he's not giving notifications, so I'm just gonna say whatever. He also, maybe not whatever, some stuff. He also bragged that he will get away with it if he indeed killed her. In the years after the plaintiff, this is the years after when she was writing that song Groupie and all that, right? She frequently, oh God, I'm sorry, you guys, this is gross. She frequently had a gynecologist, she had to go to a doctor, lady doctors, a bunch of times, and was diagnosed with vaginitis, which made it very painful for her to have intercourse with anybody ever again. This was the result of the R. This is just hard, man. This is why the dudes from YouTube don't read this stuff, because I think only a woman can read it without. I mean, not. I don't want to be sexist, but I think it takes some balls, mind you, to read this. It's easy to talk about Johnny Depp, Amber cutting his finger, then talk about R and girls. I mean, lady problems down there, and infections and blood, and anyway, it's hard to read. But now that I know for a fact that it's not true and it was dismissed, it's not so hard to read. But this is why a lot of dudes on YouTube don't want to deal with it. 'Cause this is quite the thing, quite the story. This was a result of the R, all her infections and problems, physical problems. Plaintiff does not discover circumstances sufficient to put her on notice of her potential causes of action related to the R and the death threats. This whole time, right? This whole time she's supposed to have these death threats and these infections and this post-traumatic disorder from the R. But she was cool enough to write a song called Groupie and write about I'm your baby doll, your tour bus, and cocaine and bound to the chair. But okay, I don't know what the hell happened to her brain from 2011 to now. But in February 2021, the month that everybody did it, okay, after reading an article that detailed other acts of sexual assault committed by Warner to other women, she previously had repressed his memories for so long, to the extent that any of plaintiff causes of actions otherwise might have expired by the time this action. It's not expired thanks to Esme and Evan, right? The statute of limitations period. Stop it, Lily. My cat is gonna pull my here. Come here. Yeah, well, if you're going to bug, then bug, baby. This is too messed up for your little ears to read. But you wanna be here. Otherwise she's gonna get on the computer and the keyboard. It's gonna mess my whole video up. So anyway, let my go eat something. Jesus Christ. So we got a lot of silly stuff. We got the kimono, we got the karaoke, and also we got some messed up stuff. And I don't think it happened. And if the silly stuff happened, it happened because he's a dork, and it was part of his showing off and being funny. The movie Groupie didn't happen. We know why. I don't think if she can prove with the doctor the discomfort and the sickness after the R, even if she says she has that could be from anybody else. I don't believe 90% of this or more. So I'm just saying, I'm a logical person. I'm going for like what if, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate with her especially, but it's very suspicious. You know what I mean? That she came out with it February 2021. He released his album in the week of his birthday. Man, in a month after they all come up with this bullshit. And all of them in the same week. And then she made a song in 2015, way after the R, called Groupie, and talking about being tied up and whatnot. Oh my God! Okay, we're gonna finish this before an hour. So to the extent that any of the plaintiff causes of action otherwise might have expired, she can do it because of statute of limitations, which you couldn't. But by the time that she filed this in May, she thought she was going to causes of action. Oh my God, we're almost done. This is technical stuff. This is what she's asking for. Because of all this, she's saying he committed sexual assault. He committed sexual assault with intent to commit the crimes of R. Warner actions complained of him were attempted to commit the crimes dealing in the above references. He committed emotional abuse and distress. Right? Okay. Plaintiff alleges incorporates by references. He also committed, because she's saying that because he kind of like got her blacklisted, supposedly she was not able to have any success or anything until like 2020. So that is a way of abuse. If you like blacklist the person, this is what she's saying. Okay, more silly BS. He used his fame to threat intimidation, coercion and to internationally interfere with the civil rights of her because of his fame and his influence in the music industry. Defendant intimidated an abused plaintiff by engaging in the conduct describing above, which we've been reading about. Because of Warner's powerful role in the industry, she's gonna go on this, she's gonna milk this thing that he's famous. Well, duh, we know. She's gonna milk it. I don't know why the other girls didn't, the other women didn't put it in there, but it seems like Chloe has a very, her lawyer has a very active imagination, like the guy goes for it. He should just write movies. Or she, I don't know. It can be a male lawyer. I mean, you'd be surprised sometimes. They just, lawyers, they could be awesome and they could defend people that, and really they can make justice happen. But some of them are just sharks, and they have the money. And they get the money from the client. In this case, Chloe. They're gonna go at him and not even cancel him, but trying to give him damages, which is cash. Because now she's saying that he didn't let her work and blah blah. By the conduct described above, defendant intended to deprive plaintiff to enjoyment and exercise her civil rights and work. Orgasm. My cat's playing with my purse. Well, that's it. Sexual battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress. That's really hard to prove. Prayer for relief. All right. They're asking. The demands is what you ask. Plaintiff demands a trial by jury on all issues with this complaint. So they pretty much want him to be humiliated in front of a jury. They know that Manson has a really bad reputation. They know the half of America don't like him that much since the 90s. So having a trial by jury is it's not going to happen because they're already not investigating her. But I thought that I read it because I've been talking about the news and all that. So I think it's just cool to read it. Okay, this is dated May 28, 2021. Like I said before, last time I read this was a different context because I was kind of like worried that he was going to get in trouble for all this. But now that I feel a little bit more confident about it, then I'm reading it again. So, this is the name of the lawyers, Wilshire Boulevard, LA. First, she's going to have to prove that she was in the country because she's Australian. So she could be traveling around in that time. Then she's going to have to prove that he was with her in that time. She's going to have to prove that the sexual thing about him waking up and in the middle of the night and all that. She's going to have to prove the karaoke thing. She's going to have to prove that she had the key but she didn't use it to escape. The doctor stuff. It's a lot, Anyway, I'm done. Alright. And I read you the lyric. You just Google her up. I mean, don't give her a click. Give her a click if you have to. She has a YouTube channel, Instagram. Good luck if you don't get blocked. But this is Jane Doe, Chloe Black. I've been saying it was Chloe Black from the beginning. I'm not blowing my own horn, but it kind of like I added two and two together. The point that she's 21 years younger than him, that she's from a different country, she's blonde, that she's very skinny and she's pretty and she's a musician. And I'm sorry, the song Groupie and the what the fuck, girl, like the trauma that she's saying that she have because of that movie Groupie, it's not enough trauma that for her to not use that word on a song. On a track, it's actually a single. It's a track. It's not just a song that she wrote and like it's a song. So anyway, that's it. Yay. That's it for Chloe Black. This video is gonna be less chaotic and more I honestly rather do live because I kinda like how it looks and how like we can make comments, but I know this is better for information purposes. So this is the second. You don't have to read. You don't have to listen to the first part. It's pretty much all the same over and over. This part is actually more interesting, and just remember that This happened in May, and remember the last Friday, Friday the 13th, the Los Angeles District Attorney dismissed this. So everything I read is kind of like, okay, well, not only they took it with a grain of salt, but also they say they're not going to investigate him because there's no proof of absolutely nothing. All the things she said are so impossible to prove. It's just impossible. Okay, so there you go. If you know anything else, let me know. I know a lot about her because I've been on her like from the beginning. I was like, man, it's just such a coincidence that she blocked me and she blocked all the Manson people. Yeah, just weird. And she said that she looked up to him when she was a teenager. It's in the year difference that is so. Yeah, it's just too obvious. And the fact that she's not saying her name, it don't mean nothing. Um, I really would like the YouTube channels um, by men that talk about Johnny nonstop, talk about him a little bit. Not only their best friends, not only it's complete related. Um, it's the same thing. I mean, I think these women got the idea from. No, actually, maybe Amber got the idea from them. Um, so I hope that it changes, and I hope more people talk about it. If they don't, and they don't, let's talk about it. All right, and just don't believe everything you read or listen or hear out there, and don't frame people, man. There's other ways to show that you're hurt by somebody. Don't frame people, and also don't just go around just finding certain orders and telling things that didn't happen just because you want attention. Don't do that. And for the guys out there, man, just the thing, the one thing about him that I can say I don't like, but it's just it's just sad, is that he's so trusting. He's given the key to his house, and here, stay here, and it's just weird. Maybe after this, he's married now. Don't be so trusting. Don't just let everybody into your apartment. Especially in Los Angeles and California, you need to know everybody's out for something, and a lot of not everybody, 50-50 have an agenda. So I think, I'm not saying it's his fault, but a lot of it has to do with, Johnny did the same thing. Hey, stay here in the penthouse. I trust you all, and it just backfired. So you guys out there, man, just be careful. Women too, because just guys can do weird stuff as well. Okay, good night. Happy weekend. Happy Friday. I upload this later, and maybe on BC on Sunday night. Maybe I'll come back and do my favorite person, Evan, Rachel Wood, because there's so much on her, that I always go back to her because there's so many interviews and weird stuff she's been saying, and the art joke is, it can be a good joke and all that. So I go back to her. I don't know. Let me know what you want, and I do it. But this is Jane Doe, Chloe Black. Just good news. Even if I'm reading it right now, for context, this has been not investigated. So it's cool. It doesn't mean the other ones are going to be dismissed. It doesn't. They might not. But I think this is some cool progress. Looking forward. Yeah. Oh my God, less than 58 minutes. All right. My cat needs attention. When my kids are not here because they're with their dad, my cat needs attention. I'm like, yo, give me a break, dude. She's a female. I call her Duke, but anyway. Her name is Lily, and she's a pain in the booty. Brat. Okay, good night. I gotta go. I don't have nothing fun to do, but I want to go read a book. I got a book on true crime, on the Black Dahlia murder, that I'm being obsessed with that murder. And I live in LA, so it's like, oh my God, Black Dahlias, and I should just make a whole video on true crime, but this is not true crime. This is gossip and conspiracy. So I feel like when this is over, then I can just talk about other things. But I feel like the one thing we can do to support this guy. He doesn't need our money. Is talk about it and talk about these women and what they did and what Me Too movement did. Not all of them, but some of them. The snowball effect, the bullshit came from it. That's what I say. Like just don't go around gossiping and don't just ask for help. I'm going to add the links of the girls have awesome YouTube channels, of course, and you already know who they are, but I'm also gonna add some help, some resources from help, and I might just do a whole video, like personal stories or just sharing, not all of it, but sharing some resources, because there's always help out there, and for men as well and children. So I'm not poking fun, even if I'm laughing at half of this. Because some people go through this, man, and it sucks. But I don't think that he did none of it. So that's my last word. Innocence. So proven guilty. Bye and good night.